don't know who needs to hear this. I've been there before. You are not lazy. A lot of times you are performing so abysmally, not at your level. It's not laziness. Most times it's your self-image. You remember those moments when you clearly know what to do, what to say, what business to go into, what product to bring to the market, but you don't do it consistently. Not because you are confused, not because you lack exposure, not because you don't have the education. You've attended trainings, you've written plans, you've even advised other people correctly, and they executed what you wanted them to, what you are doing, and or what you wanted to do, and they executed it and it went well. But your own execution is unstable. So let's be honest for a second. It's not always a problem of knowledge, but most times you go to acquire more knowledge and more knowledge and more knowledge. I think what many people are dealing with quietly is something deeper. Now, these three things are the things that will help you solve them, understanding them. Number one, you need to understand your self-image, your self-ideal, and your self-esteem. So let's explain this in a very simple way. Your self-image is who you believe you are. It's not what people say about you. It's not what people clap for you about. It's just about who you believe you are, not your potential. Who you actually believe you are, not even your result. Because most times you may have powerful result, but still deep down yourself, you don't believe you can do it. In fact, sometimes you thought you did it by luck. Who you believe you are when nobody is watching you. Do you feel you are disciplined? Do you feel I am consistent? Do you feel I struggle to follow through? What's that voice telling you about yourself? You can't really make it. This is by chance. It was through some kind of spiritual manipulation that got you there. It's not really, you don't know what happened though, and you got that contract. You don't know what happened though, and you were able to get this. You don't know what. So you struggle, to, agree to one thing that is responsible for what you have achieved. Agreeing to the fact that I achieved this because I am capable, I am able, and worthy of this. And one of the major issues is that a lot of people, when you assert yourself, they think you are proud. Oh, owe it to God. Yes, you should owe it to God. You should owe it to whatever. But you should also understand that God gave you the power to do it. To that extent, you should also be praised. Now, that identity you have, whether it is true or not, your behavior obeys it. Your behavior just obeys that identity and say, yes, I'm not consistent. So when you are consistent for some time, the belief of inconsistency will set in. Okay? Because your behavior obeys your self-image. Then the next thing is what we call your self-ideal. Let's talk about self-image. We're not talking about self-ideal. This is who you think you should become. Who you think you should become. That version of you that is more successful, more structured, more consistent. That version of you that is more respected, more in control, more unprocrastinative. So now you see there's a gap between what? Between who you thought you are or who you know you are by virtue of self-image and who you want to be. So that gap becomes the problem. So that gap between who you think you are and that gap between who you think you should be gives you a very big issue. Then comes the third one, self-esteem. This is simply how you feel about yourself based on this gap. If the gap is small, you feel confident, you feel stable, you feel courageous. But if the gap is wide, you start feeling you are behind. You have imposter syndrome. You are not enough. You are not doing as well as you should. And it leads me to remind you of Charles Bukowski's, that aphorism is so important for me. It says, the problem with the world is that the intelligent ones are full of doubt, while the stupid ones are full of confidence. Think about it. Now, the point is, even when objectively you are doing well, your self-esteem will go down, okay? The real issue is this. Most people are trying to improve their results without upgrading their self-image. It is like you just printed something from the computer and there's an error. You clean it on that piece of paper and then you go back to print again. It cannot work unless you go to the blueprint, which is the computer, and then do what? Make the correction. So there are certain big goals with a small identity. You see, that structure cannot carry what you are building. So what happens? What happens is that you push as onto the wall. You try as onto the wall. You start and no movement. Somewhere along the line, your behavior will always return you back to match your self-image. It will never allow you to go to your ambition. This is why you see a lot of capable people who are so powerful. Yes, you see them procrastinate, overthink, delay execution. They are not lazy. They are not lazy. Their identity has not caught up with their ambition. Their self-image is not in sync with their self-ideal. So the self-esteem is low. So the real question will be, do I currently believe I am? Don't always rush to say, what should I do next? You already know what to do next. The major question is, who do I currently believe I am? And how can I change that identity to match where I'm going? That identity, is it strong enough for the result I want? Okay? So, because until your self-image changes, your results will keep negotiating with your identity. Your effort will be great, but your result will be small. Now, you need to think about this and act accordingly. Now, if you ever need a help, I am always here to help you. My name is Kali.